formalized my business structure out of necessity because I was broke. I needed to make some money. I remember when I began to have this realization as my little writing hobby started accumulating a price tag. My family had just transitioned to a single income family when I decided I was going to be a blogger. Hey sis, welcome to the Entrusted Women Podcast, a one-point podcast created to equip Christian women communicators of color. Every episode focuses on a single point to equip you in one of four areas: purpose, writing, speaking, and business. Along the way, I will share stories, lessons, tips, mistakes, and real-time experiences I am learning on my journey as a Christian woman communicator of color. Now let's dive into episode 17. Today's point is, if you don't get comfortable with selling as a communicator, you will have a very expensive hobby. Do you know why I call myself an accidental entrepreneur? It's because I never, ever had any intention of going into business. Not at all. I did want to be an author and a speaker, but in my head, that did not count as entrepreneurship, even though it is entrepreneurship. I formalized my business structure out of necessity because I was broke. I needed to make some money. I remember when I began to have this realization as my little writing hobby started accumulating a price tag. My family had just transitioned to a single income family when I decided I was going to be a blogger. Now, I'm not the type to do a whole lot of research prior to jumping into a new project. I just sort of dive in. And so I started working on it. And as you can imagine, I did not realize the cost associated with being a blogger. There was web hosting, website themes, Canva subscriptions, Zoom subscriptions, headshots, lions, tigers, and bears. And then when my email list began to grow, there were costs tied to my email marketing service provider. The expenses continued to add up, but the income to pay for the expenses was non-existent, while we still had household needs. This put a whole lot of stress on an already tight family budget. If I was going to continue blogging, I would need to make some money. Maybe you can relate. Otherwise, it would not have been sustainable. As a leader of women in ministry, this sentiment is not uncommon. I have heard other women say the exact same thing. In fact, last year, a seasoned communicator, friend of mine, who had written books, multiple traditionally published books, been a national speaker, been the co-host of a highly recognized podcast, threw in the towel on her speaking and writing career and started looking to do something completely different. I mean, on the total other end of the continuum. When I asked her why, she said what she was doing wasn't sustainable. Y'all, the reality is the average writer makes below the poverty line annually. Yep. If you don't believe me, go ahead and just look it up for yourself. I share this information not to burst your speaking, publishing bubble, but to say there is great cause to sell products and services. As communicators, we cannot afford to simply provide services or products for free. I'll say this, unless that is what God has chosen for you to do. Because I do believe God sometimes calls people to missional work and then they have to raise their salaries through donations. But they're still raising their salaries. There's still some money to be had because you can't live off of air. But let me also say that this should be something that both the husband and the wife agree to. Otherwise, it's going to create a whole lot of division in your marriage. I think the number one reason that Christians do not charge for products and or services is fear. Capital F-E-A-R. Fear of people's opinions, fear of failure, fear of success, fear of not being good enough or feeling like a fraud, aka the imposter syndrome. Sis, the fear is not just gonna pack up the bags and leave. We have to feel the fear and do it anyway. After we've done what we know to do to prepare and establish ourselves as a business, we just need to put our products and services out there. Afraid. Yep. We gotta actually tell people this is what we do. I'm a writer, I'm a speaker, I'm an entrepreneur. If you are currently procrastinating why you should not charge, let me give you 5 reasons why you should. Number 1. The revenue stream you create can cover the cost of expenses you may be paying for out of pocket, out of your personal finances. Number 2, you can supplement the primary income in your household. Yes and amen. Number 3, you can invest in yourself or your business. That course you wanted to take or that software that you wanted to purchase now becomes a business expense. Won't he do it? Number 4, you can employ others. As your business begins to grow, you can hire contract workers or employees. And number 5, you can change the trajectory of life for your immediate family and you. How would your life and the life of those you love that are immediately around you change if you truly begin to charge money for the products and services that you offer instead of offering them for free or maybe not at all? Maybe the impact is priceless. Sis, don't allow fear to rob you of what is possible. Do your homework, prepare for greatness, take a risk, and charge for your products and services. Now, just in case you need a little help getting started, I created a free ebook with 25 ways that you can make money as a Christian communicator. Did I say free? Girl, you better jump on that. Simply click the link right down there below. Additionally, if you are interested in connecting with other writers and speakers of color, I want to encourage you to join our free community of entrusted women that are focused on determining the message that we have been entrusted with and the intentional purpose God created us for. Now, join me next week as we talk about why you need to sit your ego down.